After assigning a GIS coordinate system to a drawing, AutoCAD 2014 offers several tools to help control the coordinates, background imagery, and markers. In this lesson, we'll explore the options associated with the geographic location feature. On my screen is a drawing that has a GIS coordinate system assigned to it. Having a GIS coordinate system means this drawing knows where it is on the globe. For that reason, I have the option of displaying this aerial photograph in the background. Note that you have to be logged into Autodesk 360 for the background image to display. Now, even without the image, I can easily tell this file has an assigned coordinate system by looking at the right side of the status bar. Here we'll find the name of the coordinate system, and to the left is a toggle that can be used to hide or display this geomarker. GIS coordinate options can be found on the Geolocation tab. Starting on the left side, the Edit Location menu is how you assign a new coordinate system to a drawing. The From Map option uses the Autodesk Live Maps service, just like we saw in the previous lesson. And if I click From File, I can assign a coordinate system using a KML or KMZ file. KML stands for Keyhole Markup Language, and KMZ is the zipped variation of the file. These files are frequently used in conjunction with Google Earth. I'm going to click Cancel to close this. The Reorient Marker tool is used to fine-tune the coordinate system by shifting the location of this geomarker. Using Remove Location, you can remove the GIS coordinate information from a file. When it comes to the background image, we are not limited to the aerial photo that we see on screen. If I open the Map menu, I can select Map Road for a street map style view. I'm going to zoom out to make that easier to see. I'm going to go back to the menu and choose Map Hybrid. This option displays the street information on top of the aerial photo. Finally, if I want to hide the map altogether, I'll use the Map Off option. Once again, I'll open the menu and I'll set this back to Map Aerial. I will also zoom back in on the northern portion of the site. If I was visiting this property and had a GPS-enabled laptop, I could click the Locate Me button to identify my current location within the drawing. Likewise, I can use the Mark Position menu to add a georeferenced marker and note to the drawing. I can place the marker using a lat long. I can place it by clicking a point on screen. Or if I had a GPS-enabled laptop, I could place a marker at my current position. As an example, I'm going to place a marker. I'll start by clicking on screen to close this menu, and then I'll zoom in a little bit closer on the file. Let's assume there is a survey benchmark on the end of this head wall. I'll open the Mark Position menu, and I'll click Point. I will then click near the end of the head wall, and I'll type Benchmark. And I'll click on screen when I'm finished. Now at first glance, I'll admit that's awfully small. These markers are not annotative, so we have to size them manually. There are a couple ways to do this. Once the marker has been inserted into the file, it can be resized using the Properties palette. If I select this and press Ctrl+1 to open the Properties palette, we'll find the size setting right here. I'm going to change this from 1 to 10, and I'll press Enter. I will then press Escape to deselect the marker, and I'll press Ctrl+1 to close the Properties palette. The system variable that controls marker size is GeoMark Position Size. By default, this is set to 1. If I assign a value of 10 here, AutoCAD will properly size any new markers that I create. This system variable is saved with the drawing, by the way. Let's create one more marker to test the setting. I'll move up and relaunch the command. I'll pick a point here and I'll type possible environmental cleanup. I'll drag the slider to give myself some word wrap, and I'll click on screen when finished. These labels act just like multi-leaders. If I wanted to move this, I could select it, click the grip, and position the label wherever I like. One more thing. In the event you have several position markers in a drawing, you can make them easier to find by switching the visual style away from 2D wireframe. As an example, I'll flip this to conceptual, When I do, the position markers are identified using a yellow sphere that maintains its size relative to the screen. Now that I'm finished, I'll double-click the mouse wheel to do a zoom extents. I'll change my visual style back to 2D wireframe, and I'll switch the ribbon back to the Home tab. As you can see, there is more to the geographic location feature than simply adding aerial photography. Using the tools on the Geolocation tab, we can easily add or edit a GIS coordinate system, select alternate background imagery, or place georeferenced notations in a drawing.